How many illegal immigrants entered Britain after border controls were relaxed? The Home Secretary has no idea. Good evening. Theresa May admits it was a breach of national security. The Home Secretary claims no minister had anything to do with the decision to reduce border checks for non-EU citizens. The government states the current terror threat to Britain is substantial, yet they were totally unaware that the systems for ensuring would-be terrorists did not enter the country were simply not being deployed. Tonight, who knew what when, and why is there no independent investigation? The other news tonight.
The Eurozone crisis shifts focus here to Rome. Silvio Berlusconi is denying reports that he's about to resign tonight, but politics and the markets are pushing him hard.
Plus here, the M5 disaster, as the details of who died are clarified. The questions: was it an opaque mix of firework explosive and fog that blinded drivers? And united in shock, the family of a man left in a mortuary for 13 years and the Nigerians who were told it was a woman who was their friend.
Also on the programme tonight, at 7:30, the town that time forgot. Why residents here won't be rebuilding their homes 8 months after the tsunami devastated Japan. We'll have the first in a series of special reports. And at 7:50, Philip Gould, the man who gave birth to New Labour, has died after a long battle with cancer. We talked to Tony Blair about his friend and colleague.
He was constantly in Labour Party headquarters, speaking to the young people, motivating them, inspiring them, driving them on. You know, he was a great leader in that sense.
How many people were let in is unknown. How many are a threat to national security is again unknown. Today, the Home Secretary was forced to admit that the government can't put a figure on the number of illegal immigrants or terrorist suspects who could have entered the country whilst checks were suspended this summer. Theresa May painted a picture of chaos at the UK Border Agency as she insisted rigorous passport checks were abandoned without ministerial approval. Our political editor Gary Gibbon reports.
The unions say it was all about cutting queues and border staff. The government says it was about focusing the efforts on the most suspicious arrivals. Some checks at UK borders were relaxed from late July this year. What then happened, the Home Secretary said today, was that the Border Agency went much further, abandoning border checks, stopping fingerprint checks, and in some cases not even checking passports against the warnings index of serious suspects. The Home Secretary told the Commons the agency had breached her orders. She had no idea how many suspected terrorists, criminals and illegal immigrants may have entered the country this summer.
I told officials explicitly that the pilot was to go no further than we had agreed. As a result of these unauthorised actions, we will never know how many people entered the country who should have been prevented from doing so after being